How's it going, everybody? My name is Mitch, and welcome to the channel, and welcome to Fun Friday, day of the week where I just do anything random I'm thinking. And this is going to be kind of a follow-up video to the previous video I made. I had a lot of great comments, a lot of great webcomic creators share their feelings. It was actually, some people said it was motivational, which definitely wasn't my intent, but I'm glad people found it to be motivational. So I guess I'll try to keep making more videos like that, just so more and more people can make comics, because I like reading comics, I like making comics, so if there's more comics in the world, I get to read more comics, so win-win, I guess. So in the background, I have a speed art of the Mediabang November contest. It was CyberPunk, I guess, to go in line with CyberPunk 2077 supposedly going to be released in November, but it wasn't. It was a cool little art piece I got to do. I definitely don't expect it to win because I only spent about, I think, an hour and a half total, which I kind of wish I want to, I need to kind of spend more time on some art pieces. And it kind of goes hand in hand with today's theme of take your time. And it's kind of definitely when starting out your comic. And I guess before we start going off on the topic, I do just want to preface that I am definitely a beginner comic maker. So anything I really say, I would definitely take everything I say into consideration. I'm not nowhere near, as experienced as some other people on YouTube. I have made a couple webcomics. I have posted a couple. This year alone, I have made about 3 or 4 first chapters, and I just definitely wasn't satisfied with any of them. So now I'm finally gonna be hopefully releasing the first chapter of my new comic 100 years later, sometime next year. But yeah, take anything I say with a grain of salt, and make your own opinions on. So if I ever make a video that you don't necessarily agree with or whatever, I'll feel free to comment, how you disagree or whatever. And yeah, don't take anything I say as a word of law, because I definitely am new at this, as some of you might be watching this. But anyway, back to the topic. Take your time. So it definitely applies to when you're starting out, because when I first started drawing, I kind of knew if I wanted to make a comic on a weekly basis, I would have to do a panel in about an hour, right? If you do 40 or 50 panels, it'd be a 40, 50 hour a week kind of job. And, I probably can do that. And I definitely try to hit that as my goal. I kind of want to make the panels as fast as I possibly can. And that's hard. And I don't know if I necessarily need to make them as fast as possible and just get out content. Because it's kind of like a counterpoint to my previous video where I said, you just need to make a comic and get it out there. So once you do make that comic and get it out there, how much do you make? All right, how many panels do you do? What's going to be your upload schedule? All that stuff. And I don't know that there's no right answer to this, but what I'm thinking is you need to take your time and just kind of get something out there and just keep uploading at a consistent rate of whatever you decide. So whatever that means, because when I was making this comic 100 years later, I'm thinking, I gotta post 30 panels every week, and it's gonna, I gotta do it, and I gotta create a buffer, and it's just, I would like to be able to do that, but I have other obligations, and I definitely am a victim to burnout. I think maybe everyone who draws is, I'm not good at grammar, sorry. But I'm kind of learning, as with a lot of things in life, and with YouTube and your art and, comics and writing, it's more of a marathon. A lot of people say that it's not really a sprint, it's a marathon. So you really got to think about what is sustainable and what you're going to be able to consistently do, because if you're able to consistently do something, no matter how small, it'll all add up eventually. If you just kind of sprint for the first, if you just do 60 panels a week, for a week, and like you're almost killing yourself because you also have to work and do other obligations and you're working 50, 60 hours on this panel, it might be fun. I did that for the first chapter of 100 Years Later. But I definitely, at the end of it, I was just like drained. I was just like, I don't know if I could do this. I was just having second thoughts, and I needed to slow down. I needed to take my time, because your idea isn't going anywhere. I mean, you're going to keep making the comics, and even if someone made a comic almost identical to yours, it's going to, whatever you make is going to be so different. So you don't need to rush it. You need to make it at a pace to where you can finish it, because if you go too fast, you might never finish it. You might drop it, like I have done it to so many things, not just comics, just other hobbies in general. So yeah, you need to kind of find a pace that you can do realistically. So with me, I think I'm gonna do my comic twice every other week, twice a month, about 30 to 40 panels. And that's realistic. I probably could do more, but I need to kind of set boundaries of what I can do, and if I can make them longer eventually, that'd be great. But I'm kind of setting low expectations, I guess, and I want to be able to make a buffer too, and I want to be able to kind of have a consistent schedule. I know a lot of people say you need to post something every week, and I could possibly, I could do 15 panels every week, but I would like my story structure to be a little bit longer. I can't really segment it as much as I want to, but if you're making something a little bit more or less serious, my comic, it definitely has comedy in it, but it's a little bit more serious and structured around that, I guess. So I definitely would like the panels to be longer, or the chapters to be longer. But if you have something kind of more slice of lifey, or more comedy based, you can definitely have shorter uploads. You could do a couple panels every day. If set up punchline. That's it. That's a little comic. And that'd be great too. I'm going off topic, I guess. So basically, this video is just kind of saying, it's a counterpoint, not really a counterpoint, it's just kind of a follow-up to my previous video where I said, your art's good enough, you just need to make something. And, I definitely agree with that. You definitely need to make something, and you need to put something out. But don't overwork yourself. Kind of don't think of your comic. I mean, you can think of your comic however you want, but if you want to hopefully make a successful comic, I think we need to start thinking it as more of a long-term thing, and I think that's just kind of, as I'm getting older, it's kind of just one of those things you're kind of realizing. Some people might just automatically know that and just think, yeah, stuff is going to be like long-term, so you need to like plan for it to be long-term, where I guess I'm just now realizing it, I do need to do that, because before I kind of was like, okay, I'm just going to spend this week and I'm going to only draw comics, and I'm going to draw comics and draw art for, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and I'm not going to hate it. It's going to be great. But you gotta know your personality, I guess. And my personality is, if I do anything for 10 to 12 hours a day and work another 8 to 10 hours a day, I'm gonna hate that because I'm gonna sleep like 2 hours. So that's just that's some advice, I guess. If you can, hopefully, kind of as advice. If not, if you just really love drawing and making comics, I mean, I really do love doing it. But there's a certain point where if you do it enough, you're gonna start hating it, I think. But if you do love doing it so much to where you could just do it endlessly, go for it. But I don't think most of us are robots, and we have to do other things other than create comics and draw all day. I would love to be able to do that, but I gotta work in my personality there, I guess, too. So I guess that's it for this video. It was kind of a little bit less, it was definitely more rambly. It was less scripted, I guess, than my previous video, because this is kind of a spur of the moment kind of video. I kind of thought of this and I kept thinking about stuff like this. So hopefully you found it helpful. Please let me know what you think of this topic on taking your time and kind of working on your comic, what kind of pace you plan on doing on a weekly basis. And just let me know any other topics you might want me to talk about in the future, or just ask me about in the comments down below. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps. Leave a comment on anything, and anything else you want to talk about. Thanks for watching.